Hello, and welcome to Comic Book Business. It is I, Josh Goldstein, on two, on one to 2025. We're on 2025, and it's and then it's actually kind of cool. We're in the future officially. You know, we've been in the future for 25 years, you know, and, that's, a few days ago, it was like it was partying like it's 1999, you know, or 2001. It was fun. It was fun. It was, that was good. Even Anderson Cooper looks good. Like, oh my god, and there. I'd sing Chardonnay myself. Um, but really, but okay. In comic book business news, we we like to examine comics today. I've got Israeli comics to examine because, like occasionally I pick an Israeli comic up. So I'll show you, of course, I've got mine. This is an American comic. You know, I I talk more about this. Buy it. Amazon. This is an Israeli Marvel comic. The Incredible Hulk. It's the Incredible Hulk, an Israeli comic. It's really cool. It's in Hebrew. You can say Hulk, like Hulk, the Hulk. You know, it looks like a reprinting of the first issue with Bruce Banner. It's really like from the 60s. It's really cool. Yes. Oh my god. It's the Grey Hulk from the 60s. And he speaks Ivrit. I wonder who. Yeah, this is a reprinting. Hold on, I just want to get a little more light on this subject. This is like an American, but Hall of Heroes. That's an infamous indie. It was actually, there's a lot of Hall of Heroes. They sometimes they get like this. I got this in a friend uh, Sal Fatrema's comic book shop, and the predecessor to and how like that shop had a lot of interesting, like this is like a somebody created it, and it was put in the guy, it was one. How heroes would try out superheroes, like Cyberfrog was in Hall of Heroes, and it's like Mick comic book shop, so there's horror heroes all over the place, but it's like temple and manual, but they're loosely bound together. And like, it's like, yeah, I guess they're called Hall Heroes, no central office, just comics, but it's like an alliance. Like a friend of mine, another comics friend had the Comic Crypt, and they started something called Comic Crypt. And enough about, so this was Hall Heroes, Power of the Golem, and this was actually this is not the best superhero. It's actually pretty dumb, but they were always having contests to create characters. So I was seeing this comic and partially the um in the art contest made me think, maybe I want to draw comics. And because I was thinking some other things, but maybe I want to draw some comics. So, maybe cool. This is a kind of a comic book, which is an Israeli, it's an American comic, but it's actually, I wouldn't draw this comic, but I'm showing it, but a Jewish superhero. It's like a reverse to me. It's why is he fighting the Japanese? Is I guess I wouldn't approve of him, but I guess it's the Second World War. I would have him fighting the Nazis and not bring up such a controversial issue, but it's just me, your friend Josh Goldstein, the Pacific War is a little touchy. This is one of my favorite little parts. Dorrit Mager's Falafel Man. She's a friend of mine, social media. She's a friend of mine. Dorrit Mager is really, like one of Israel's greatest female comic book artists. And there's the Israeli comic book industry is not too big, but Walton with Bashir and others are good. Maybe I'll show them some other time. I've got a copy of Walton Bashir. I really should have. I really should have showed it to you. But this is a cool comic. And are you going to take a risk? And, this thing's gem mint. Wow, she's Chops and Pops comic makes Madix, I guess. Oh, you read it like this. So you read it like this. Like, it's not like that. Read it like this in reverse. Like a manga comic. And that be Jewish people and Japanese really are very similar. Oops. This is like, whoa, this is comic funny. See this guy, the bad guys turns himself into a human falafel. Like he's all the, I guess this is, they've built this machine to turn him into human falafel. Wow, we got this, nice costume and everything. Yeah. This is another one. It's like number 3. This is like issue 4. Oh, we have advertising on the back. Yeah, this is like, this artist is really good, and he's powered by falafel. Actually, so he's powered by falafel. Actually, the Toby style is pretty good. I do recommend it if you're into this role. I don't like some of the American ones with the little matzo balls. That's pretty good. After you've eaten the Toby one, you basically love it. And this is a comic by Yuri Fink, who's the legendary Israeli comic. He draws little humor digests. He tried, he's done superheroes like me, but he made this comic book called Cyberman, which was popular for a few years. It was a black and white comic. They have Hebrew and English versions. So yeah, and the thing about Cyberman, unfortunately, is a few years after it came out, and it was still popular, and people still read it. Marvel Comics brilliantly stole the name and invented this really crappy B or C character, Sabra. I've seen the character. It's like Ruth Spot Seraph with a wimpy name. Um, it's an Israeli Messiah with superpowers, and of course she flies around. She wears these bracelets. It looks like a bad Black Widow ripoff. Like what? And she shoots quills out of her cape. I mean, what is she? She must be the dumbest lesbian. and what is? And I mean, what is she? And lots of chicks hate this. Israeli chicks hate this bitch. I mean, one chick I know is like, I so hate this girl, and I hate this girl too. Lots of people hate it for a number of reasons, and I won't admit to nothing, but I'll tell you, yeah, when I was creating Maccabee Lady, I thought, oh, I need a name for this character. Wouldn't Sabra be good? But Sal advised me, don't, my friend Sal, don't, don't name it Sabra. There's this really crappy Marvel character, and Marvel's the biggest comic book in the world. You know, you don't want to be sued, even though it's a crappy B or C, even a D, this character. So why don't you change the name? You get better appreciation. Like you might even get some reviews in it, not right away. So, um, yeah, F you. So, so, what? So Maccabee Lady, I made it up like from the Maccabees and Lady like Maccabee Lady, like so not Maccabee Woman like Wonder Woman, but Maccabee Lady. It sounded snappier, and it is actually better than Sabra because although Sabra is a native Israeli, and it might have been a good name, and like I had, and I had it in my early Ashkans and one something like that. But Maccabee Lady was the better name, and actually, since then, the comic's been really successful, and I'm glad I did Maccabee Lady for my comic instead of Sabra, which would have been so dreadful and wouldn't have. Yeah, Maccabee Lady is quite better. Poor, poor Yuri Frank, by the way, could for years and years and years struggled with this thing about Cyberman. It's like, oh my god, Marvel Comics screwed me. So it's always a point with Yuri Frank. I guess everybody hates Marvel for various reasons, not just Todd McFarlane, who hated it. This is a nice little artwork Frank. It's like the famous Israeli comic books artwork. Some, I don't know, some other artwork. This is like a Mad magazine. So, but for guys who speak Hebrew, so actually, either I actually sort of know it, sort of, but not that good, but good enough. So, like I could, you know, can Bavakasha, but it's sometimes hard to read an entire comic book in Hebrew. Okay, so before we go, artist, buy my comic, an artist. Machiavelli, of course, not any B-listers. Wouldn't want to hurt in that comic book. This guy, of course, never negotiate with terrorists to rescue a hostage. Just save Machiavelli. Just save Machiavelli and your hostages will be saved. I predicted this, of course, Nasrallah, you know, she didn't do it, but I'm glad the Israeli army did. That was 2006. Kaboom. So, that's all for now. Here from all of us is comic book business news. And from all of us at JLG Comics and CBB, and signing off and signing off. So, till next time, goodbye and good luck.